Our first story comes to you from Assam. We're learning that two terror suspects have been arrested in Morigaon in Assam. They've been arrested in the state with links with Ansarullah Bangla. Now, we do have the name of both of these men. They were arrested by Morigaon police. We're learning that one of them was an imam. He was arrested from Nagaon. Earlier, you might remember, one madrasa was also demolished in Morigaon's district. This is after suspected terror links with the very same outfit that we're discussing, Ansarullah Bangla. Now, my colleague Niloy Bhattacharjee is with us right now on the phone to bring us a lot more context on these developments. Niloy, over the last few weeks, we've brought our audiences multiple stories from Assam of a similar nature, particularly of madrasas being demolished because of supposed terror links. Now, we also know that the opposition in Assam has criticized this action. They've said that madrasas are being unfairly targeted. We'll get to that in just a second. First, could you bring us details of this arrest?
Right, so two persons, namely Musaddiq Hussain and Ikramul Islam. They have been arrested by the Morigaon police. And Ikramul Islam is he is an imam, and he was in Nagaon, that is adjacent district to Morigaon. And both Morigaon and Nagaon, they are minority-dominated districts. And if I may further classify, these two districts are dominated by Bengali-speaking minority people. Now, these madrasas are operated in these areas and where these people, they teach. Now, these two, after the arrest of these two persons, the point of debate again comes to the fore that whether imams are involved in these kind of acts or not. The government says that, yes, these madrasas, particular madrasas, they are more of an office for the Ansarullah Bangla and AQIS rather than being institutions for education. Now, therefore, the government has justified the Demolition Act, saying that these madrasas needs to be demolished. Now, these madrasas where these imams come and teach, the government will soon come up with a portal where imams and the Hafiz who comes from out of the state to the madrasas in the state, they need to enroll themselves in a portal with all their details and credentials. Now, when we talk about the Morigaon model, because we need to talk about Morigaon model because the Morigaon model, the madrasa which was being demolished, the Hafiz madrasas which was being demolished, was the first madrasa to be demolished. Why this madrasa was being demolished? Because these madrasas, around 220 or 230 odd students, boys who have been taught, one person from Bangladesh, he is said to be an operative of Ansarullah Bangla called Abu Tallah. He stayed here for several months. He moved from one madrasa to another, kept on teaching and indoctrinating these students with jihadi teachings. And there were pamphlets being distributed in Bangla language. Now, what was there in the pamphlets? The pamphlets contained 4 points. How a person not being actively in the jihad can support jihad. They said that, yes, you can give zakat to the jihad, you can support their families who are actively fighting for jihad, you can give medical attention to the jihad, you can spread the message of jihad. So there were 14 points in the pamphlets which will be distributed. There were pictures being distributed where the pictures had dead person in the poster, and above it was written Ansarullah Bangla. Now, what does this poster mean? This poster means that they go and move around with the poster, making people understand that these are your brothers who have been killed in different parts of India, and now it's time to stand up and avenge. So these kind of teachings are being going around in the madrasas. Therefore, the government has been very strict. The government has already closed down all the government madrasas, around 800 odd government madrasas. Now, these madrasas, these Hakimi madrasas and other madrasas which have been operated, there are around 1,200 such madrasas. Now, these madrasas are being very closely monitored. Their activities being very closely monitored. Their funding pattern is being very closely monitored. Their committee is being formed to actually monitor the entire madrasas. And the Tanzim Board too. Now, the Tanzim Board says that the Tanzim Board has around 750, 800 madrasas. Tanzim Board says that our madrasas will be being monitored by Tanzim Board. We have prepared a directory and given it to the DGP of Assam Police. The entire directory has the details of all the madrasas which are under our prerogative. So this is what the government says. The opposition says that no, the madrasas is being targeted. If you have any person related to jihad or been found connected to the jihad distantly, you punish the person. Why do you need to demolish a madrasa and punish all the students? If you bring down the madrasas, then where our students will go to take the Islamic education? So this is the justification the opposition gives. Now the debate is on. In between all this debate, there are 5 Bangladeshi Ansarullah Bangla operative moving freely in Assam. The government of Assam, the police in search of these 5 persons. Out of these 5 persons, Abu Tallah is one prime person. So now, another point is that now another imam comes into the net. So again, the doubt, the question raises that how many more imams are involved in this and why and what are their main objectives and how they are going about in fulfilling their objectives.
All right, Niloy, stay with us, please. I want to go over now to our Uttar Pradesh Bureau Chief Pranshu Mishra. Pranshu, we're coming over to you because, as our audiences might know, across Uttar Pradesh, the survey of madrasas has already started. Now, if you could very quickly tell our audiences about what the government's plan was with this survey, but then also walk us through the huge alarm that this caused among opposition in the state, the strong political reactions we've seen to this news.
Yes, Soya, actually the madrasa survey is already a process that has started. In fact, it was to kickstart from today itself. So officially it was starting from today, but we all have reported how that questionnaire, which was first accessed by us here on CNN News 18, how that questionnaire was already being circulated to the madrasa seeking certain replies. Why the madrasa and the owners are alarmed or the management is alarmed is primarily because of 2 points in that questionnaire. One, asking them to disclose the source of their funding, and second, asking them to disclose the source of their affiliation or the bodies to which they are affiliated in case they are not affiliated to government bodies like the madrasa board. Now, these 2 points are really something which is causing a lot of alarm amidst the community because they feel that the madrasas, declaring the source of funding means that any individual or organization who are funding the madrasas could now come under the government scanner, and also disclosing their affiliation could also bring in many more religious bodies and trusts under the scanner if the need so requires. And that's the reason why there is a lot of objection, and the Muslim bodies like Muslim Personal Law Board and Jamiyat Ulama Hind are saying that it is not just an exercise to boost the infrastructure and the quality of education in madrasas, but it is basically a proxy for government to intervene on a turf that clearly lies in the domain of the minority education as per the constitutional rights.
Okay, Pranshu, thank you for bringing us those details. For our audiences, we'll continue to bring you updates on both those stories. Right now,